Hello and welcome to CIPD Bitesize. In this video, we're going to look at the last question on the 50SO7 unit. Explain how InsureSave wellbeing program would be evaluated and monitored. This is part 2 of 50SO7, which is the wellbeing at work module. And in total, you have 1900 words to answer this. However, question 2 is pretty chunky. So I'm probably recommending around about 300 words to answer this particular question. Now, you've already identified 2 wellbeing initiatives that would help InsureSave. You've already designed a wellbeing initiative or program to address one of these needs. You have then created the key components, the people involved, and the potential wellbeing benefits of that. And then in AC3.3, you have explained how you would implement this. Now, to close it off, you're going to see how it's evaluated and monitored to guarantee the success to InsureSave Limited. Basically, this is a full well-being from thinking, identifying, designing, implementing, evaluating. Full journey. This is the good part about paper 2. So 300 words to explain how you would do it. References, citations are critical. And remember, you must reference InsureSave within this because you work for InsureSave. Work for InsureSave. I think I've said that enough times now. You're probably sick of me saying who you work for. But if you're not sure, you work for InsureSave. Anyway, so explain is the verb your, because it's your wellbeing initiative. So you can't just go generally, this is how evaluation and monitoring works. This is your program, how you would do it based on everything you've written so far. How do you evaluate and monitor? So explain your InsureSave wellbeing program would be evaluated and monitored. That's the critical part. Now, in terms of how I would do it is I would put, how would my wellbeing program be monitored? So how do I keep track of it? How am I going to keep track of it day to day? What does good look like? What are the benchmarks that I can use based on the research and evidence and case studies that I found in how it can be implemented? And I would use similar sort of format. So again, how would the wellbeing program be monitored? How would it be evaluated? They will be my 2 subheadings. Explain is to make something clear, to describe, give information about it. So again, you approach it in that way. Monitored, evaluated, AC3.4. So AC3.4 at the top left here. Subheading, evaluated, monitored. Now I flipped it around within my recommended thing because I think you monitor it before you evaluate it. Your evaluation comes towards the end of its cycle. So whilst it says evaluated and monitored, I prefer to go with monitored and evaluated. You can do it either way. I think it kind of makes sense if you go, well, this is how we're going to monitor it, and then this is how it's evaluated, because if you're monitoring it, you're collecting data as you're going, and then you're going to use the data you're collecting as you're monitoring to do the evaluation. So for me, it might be a little switch there, but you've done that, you just need to switch back. But again, it's not a major problem if you do it the other way around. It's just my recommendation is evaluate, monitored, and then evaluate. So in terms of recommended read, so again, about 150 words per action point, making sure that you reference the other 3 questions and the things that you're given there. What does good look like? Data, case study, statistics. We gave you 4 massive case studies in AC3.3 bite size, so I would definitely use those if you can. Other tools that we've got, CIPD Guide, the Good Work Index, that's got quite a lot of evaluation and monitoring information within there. The Review the Health and Wellbeing approach in the CIPD tools, and the NHS Employee Evaluating Your Health and Wellbeing Program is a brilliant online resource for you to sort of read through in terms of how they go about it, because obviously they've got loads of different hospitals, loads of different places all over the place. How do they evaluate their health and wellbeing programs? They're the things that I would recommend. Now, to sort of give you a bit of a contextualized answer, we always give you a bit of a fictitious scenario, and I think this is probably the best image that we've had so far, which is a banana, an office banana, so to speak. And this is the magnificent misadventures of the banana ballet troupe. So once upon a time, in a bustling jungle lived a troupe of exceptionally talented bananas. They dreamed of becoming the most celebrated dancers in the entire jungle, and to achieve this, they embarked on a rigorous well-being program called Peel Lattes. Peel Lattes. Daily regime of stretching, core strengthening, and mindfulness exercise to ensure their Peel Lattes program was truly effective. The bananas devised a clever monitoring system. Before Peel Lattes, their data point one was a slipometer. Reading each banana wore a tiny slipometer on their peel, a device that measured the number of accidents, slips, and falls during a regular jungle activity, like swinging from vines and chasing butterflies. Data point two was peel integrity survey. Daily surveys were conducted to assess the peel integrity. Questions included: how many blemishes appeared on your peel today? Do you feel your peel is sufficiently resistant to squishing? During Peel Lattes, data point three, attendance records. Meticulous records were kept for each banana's attendance in Peel Lattes classes. Data point four was a banana meter reading called a banana meter. It was installed in the Peel Lattes studio to devise, measure collective banananess of the class. Complex algorithms containing factors such as peel shine, peel flexibility, and an overall jovial mood. After Peel Lattes, they had three more data points, which is a slipometer reading. So the slipometer readings were re-evaluated to see if the number of slips and falls had decreased. The peel integrity survey was also done again to see if it repeated to determine the quality had improved. And performance observations, banana dancing performance were carefully observed by a panel of impartial judges. And the judges assessed factors like grace, agility, and overall banana-tastic flair. The results, after several weeks of dedicated Peel Lattes, the data started to speak in volumes. The slipometer readings plummeted, the peel integrity scores soared, the attendance records were impeccable. The banana meter consistently registered peak banananess, and most importantly, the banana dancer performance were nothing short of spectacular. They moved with a newfound grace and agility. The peels gleamed with health and happiness. It's a bit of a weird, random story, but actually, if you think about it from the data and everything that's in there, so just like the bananas, the program, the wellbeing program, requires a multi-faceted approach to evaluation. So when you're trying to evaluate a wellbeing program, it had before, it had during, it had after, it had different data points to ensure that they were making the right decisions and they were still progressing. So data is your friend is kind of the key message here. You know, track key metrics to measure progress and identify areas for improvement. And variety is the spice of evaluation. Don't rely on a single measure. Use a combination of quantitative and qualitative data. And celebrate success. Acknowledge and reward positive outcomes. That's critical if you want to continue to make regular improvements. Absolutely best of luck with this unit. It is a tricky one, the second half of this, the part two, but actually I think if you can get your head around it, this really is what working in HR is like. It's coming up with an idea, it's looking at data, it's identifying a solution, it's telling them how you'd implement it and telling them how you're going to track it and make sure it's a success. So whilst I get there's an element of it where you may feel a little bit like, oh my God, there's so much work involved in this. Actually, if you can get this right, this is really what's going to help you drive through within your HR career. So it's really, really well put together unit from CIPD perspective. And if I haven't mentioned it already, you work for InsuranceSafe. Best of luck, and we'll catch you on the next one.